Congress could grow larger. That is if the Cherokee Nation succeeds in a push to send a delegate to Washington, D.C. The tribe says it's their right based on treaties with the U.S. federal government. Jennifer Bellamy digging into what could happen going forward.
Well, Jeff, the Cherokee Nation took the first step towards making this happen by selecting an appointee, but it's not clear how the federal government will respond. A seat at the table. Principal Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Chuck Hoskin Jr., says the tribe is taking the historic first step, enacting its right to send a delegate to Congress. He announced his nomination of Kim Teehee, who currently serves as the tribe's Vice President of Government Relations and formerly served as Senior Policy Advisor for Native American Affairs under President Barack Obama. The Cherokee Nation says its right for representation is referenced in the 1835 Treaty of New Dakota. It came after the state of Georgia continued pressing for Native American lands, and a party of Cherokees began to negotiate with the federal government. About 500 Cherokees claiming to represent the tribe signed the document in New Dakota, Georgia. It gave the Cherokee $5 million in land in what's now Oklahoma in exchange for their 7 million acres in ancestral land. And though most of the tribe opposed the treaty, it was ratified by the Senate and led to the removal of Cherokees from parts of Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, and North Carolina in their forced journey westward in what became known as a Trail of Tears. This current move for representation comes as part of Principal Chief Hoskin's first 100 Days initiatives, which include strengthening the tribe's sovereignty. Right now, the District of Columbia and territories, American Samoa, Guam, the Northern Mariana Islands, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands have representatives in the House. They can introduce bills and resolutions, serve on committees, and vote within them, but they cannot vote otherwise. So far, it's not clear if a possible delegate from the Cherokee Nation would have similar rights and restrictions as the full right to vote rests with states. And the Cherokee Nation said it hopes the federal government will honor its obligation. Right now, the tribe plans to work with the Oklahoma legislative delegation to try and advance the appointment. But there's no word right now on what, if anything, Congress will do about the tribe's action.